Yeah. Great way to end the semester, and great way to start the conference with a win on our home court. Our break will be a lot better because of it for sure. But a hard-fought game. I think it's the first time we've played a conference game before the break, and I think that in itself is difficult because it's really hard for college kids in general and even coaches or whoever to really focus in and make sure that you're dialed in to what the job and the mission is before you go on to break. And sometimes you can see some people slip up, and we even had some upsets in our conference yesterday to start conference out. So for us to come in and shoot the ball as well as we did, and then to pull out the win, I think speaks volumes to this group. And obviously super proud of these two and their efforts. We talked about somebody having a double-double today, and Sarah walked through that door of opportunity. And then Bailey's just been a warrior the past, probably 4 or 5 games. She's just really put us on her back and played a lot of minutes, guarded a lot of people that most of the time the opponent's best player, and she's just doing a great job of leading our team. So really proud of both of their efforts.
For both.
Obviously the career high tonight, 28. Just take me through what was working so well for you.
The middle third ball screen worked really well, and the wing ball screens, but I think it was just the fact that we had really good spacing, and I just shot the ball when it came to me. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary for us tonight. It was just what we've been practicing.
And early on, I wouldn't call it a slow start for you. I mean, you were obviously averaging double figures, but as of late, you turned it up a notch. Was there anything different in practice? They were going to go to you more, shoot the ball more?
No, nothing like that. Just shots have been falling more often, and getting into conference, it's teams that I've played before. It's teams that I know what they do and how they react. So that makes it a little bit easier for me to see reads and see opportunities to score.
Then Sarah, for you, probably your most complete game so far. What was working?
It was a good game today. Like Coach say, I step up for my team because we needed it. First conference game, we needed to step up, and I just show up because of my team, for my team.
Pretty good stat line, Sarah. 6 for 7.
All right. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
But 4 turnovers.
I know. I wasn't going to say that. I was like
I saw
trying to
it.
be
That's
positive. We're going to blame him on Bailey for passing it low, too.
Questions for Coach?
Hey, Coach, obviously good way to start, but you've been on both sides of this, not necessarily with a break in between, though, but to start off 1-0 in conference play, truly, how big is that for the momentum of this team?
It's huge, right? It's huge. It just gives you, first of all, it really does allow you to enjoy your break, and our kids need a mental break. I mean, we've played a tough schedule. We've played a lot of tough games. We're playing a different style with how difficult or how hard we have to play because we're playing in the full court. So that's a lot of fatigue and wear and tear. And when we don't go as deep in our bench, which we didn't, we went deep in our bench, but we didn't go as many minutes, I guess, as we normally do. It can be really draining, mentally draining. So I think it's huge for our kids to get this win. Obviously, protect home court, but every game that we play in the Big 12 is going to come down to the who's the tougher team. And tonight I feel like we were, and we got it done. And we'll take this break and then get prepared for the next one.
Winning the paint battle, but you guys had the transition points your way. Coach even mentioned that when they were able to slow the ball down, they're able to work it inside and eventually score, but you guys kind of kept them from being able to slow the game down, forcing those turnovers. How big was that for this group today to be able to keep Houston off balance?
Yeah, we definitely wanted to dictate the pace, and we wanted to play fast. They have a shorter bench. We wanted to be able to, we thought in the 5 position particularly, we could outrun them a little bit. And when we were getting stops, it looked early especially like they didn't really have anybody stopping us in transition. So we really wanted to push it. So we needed to get stops regularly so that we could continue to run our transition game. But the pace was super important for us today because we just play better when we can play a little bit faster and get some people, get some 2-on-1s, get some 3-on-2s, some disadvantages or advantages in the paint. But I just thought that being able, what I liked about the game today is that we went on some runs, but we never allowed them to get back in the basketball game, really, in the second half, where in the past, we've allowed that, right? I mean, we've built up some leads, and then we've allowed them to get back in, and we've had to hold on. And we still had to hold on. We didn't necessarily grow our lead as much as we wanted to, or hold on to it, but we never let them significantly get back in the game. And I think that was to pace of play and just our defensive stops and rebounding. Rebounding always helps when you can secure the stop with a rebound.
It's just how reassuring is it to see those shooting numbers start to go up after kind of a tough start to the season?
Yeah, for sure. We know we have good shooters, and even late. I mean, I felt like we missed some wide open ones that really could have stretched the lead even more. But it was great to see the 3-ball especially go in early. Great to see Danae Fritz shooting the ball like she is. Obviously, Jazzy's knocking some down, and so is Bailey. And we all know that Jazzy can score it, and Adley too. We got to get Adley some more minutes so that she can get in a rhythm, because she can really shoot the basketball and open up that defense for us.
Both those girls had a really big night. Both of them didn't really take any personal credit, but rather accredited their team. So what kind of camaraderie does that mean to you as their head coach?
Yeah, well, that's what this team is about. I mean, they know that we are going to have great team chemistry, especially how many people we play, for us to win basketball games. I don't want to take anything away from their personal play, because I think it was fantastic, and I love to see what Bailey can do. I mean, we have Jazzy who can have those big games. It's fantastic to be able to get Sarah in double digits in both rebounding and scoring, because we need that inside presence. But we don't really particularly have, that one kid that's just a bucket every single game. So it's huge for us to be able to spread the wealth. And I think they know that. I think they know that, they have to be there for one another, that when it's their turn, they're going to step up. Logan stepped up against Arkansas for us. I just think every night it can be somebody different. And I do think that Bailey's starting to be really consistent and consistently tough. And that's huge for us, because she can really score the basketball. And when the ball's in her hands so much, I think that really taxes the defense. It really pushes them to how are they going to help. And then she's really doing a better job of finding the open player once she gets a double team.
This is Bailey's third 20-point game in a row. Can you talk about what's working for her on offense?
Yeah, I think for one thing, we're putting the ball in her hands. She's running more point guard for us. But to be honest, I really feel like it's all the minutes that she got last year where she had to do it, and it was uncomfortable for her, and she grew in that time, and now you're seeing the payoff. I think people are starting to see what we saw in giving her the keys last year, is that we knew we were going to have to go through some difficult moments with her because of just her youth and then her inexperience of having the ball in her hands at all times in the Big 12. But I think now you're seeing just how good she can be. Offensively for sure. But I think that she's doing a really good job of understanding what we're trying to get offensively, and reading the defense and making the right reads. And she's always tough and goes to the basket. She also makes really big shots, so in tough times. But I think she's just learning a lot and being the leader that we knew she could be. And, to be fair, I called the timeout late because I was super frustrated with her, because I thought she was missing a couple of people that she normally would find, or that she turned the ball over. I want her to be fantastic, and I know, and she is, and I want her to continue to be great. And what makes her great is that she allows me to push her like that. And I think it speaks volumes to her teammates when they see me getting after the player that's got 28, and I'm getting after her at that level. I think that speaks volumes to them about the expectations that we have and the standard that we want to hold them to, but also like the belief that we have in them. I think that's huge for these girls to know how much we believe in them and how great we think they can be.
Coach, it'll be about 2.5 weeks before you're back here under the home roof. And so when you look at the break and trying to retain that momentum, not only with the break, but now also 2 road games on top of that, what are the challenges there?
Yeah, the break is much needed, and I think it's really going to be positive for us. We even extended it a day just to allow them to have a little bit more time, just to keep their minds fresh and maybe to renew them, and to renew their hunger and their drive, because this is a brutal conference. You know, it's going to be brutal when we come back. We have a game every Wednesday, Saturday, twice a week. And I just think our season's so long that it can really take a toll on these kids. And I think it's huge that we have this little break that they can go and spend some family time and let their legs rest, all the things. But when they come back, we've got to immediately get their focus back, right? And one of the reasons that we scheduled, 2 road games, like true road games in the non-conference, was for this very moment, right? We didn't know what our conference schedule was going to look like, but we knew that we would have to go on the road twice. We just didn't, and back to back, we just didn't know it was going to be this early in the season. So I think it's really going to help us. It's great that we just had 2 games on the road, so it won't be as far of a reach, thinking back to it, and they can remember what that looked like. And so I think it's going to pay off for us. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.